Hello, this is Jason Robinson from Illustration by Design, and hopefully this live stream is working okay. I apologize in advance for any hiccups that might occur along the way. It is now 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, Saturday, and I am several hours late getting this live stream started, but I'm starting it. So, I am continuing to draw this comic book, Secret Comics Presents, written by Nasser Rabadi. This is page 5 of the penciling. As with the other ones, I'm just blowing up this sort of rough, not so rough, thumbnail. Um, that's not so much a thumbnail. And blew it up to the 11 by 17 size that it needs to be to draw on this Bristol board. And I'm just gonna trace it. Hey, Timothy Best is here. How you doing? Good seeing you, Timothy. Let's see. Let's make sure everything's working. So I'm gonna start drawing. And you guys can watch and let me know what you think. Ask me any questions you may have or whatnot. The comic book is supposed to launch on Indiegogo on Friday the 13th in March. So keep an eye out for it. Nasser and I are gonna be talking about it in the coming month and a half or so. Over the next month and a half or so. Blech, my brain. And so just keep an eye out for it, and hopefully you guys will be looking forward to it launching, and we'll have it available for purchase on Indiegogo for 2 months, I believe. I think what else? Oh yeah, here's my finished drawing of Tifa from this past Thursday's Drawn and Quartered fan edition. I don't know if you can see that. Hopefully you can. It was fun to do. I wish I had more than 2 hours to work on it, but I think it came in second place. I probably should have come in third place, but it was fun to draw, and it was good practice for me to try to draw faster, even though I'm not going to draw that fast with this comic book. It'll probably take me at least 2 hours just to do the pencils for this stuff. So, but anyway, hope you guys are doing well. Hope you're having a great weekend. And if I think of anything else to say, I will do so. Let's see. Timothy says, "You know your anatomy." I'm trying to get better. But I need a lot of reference whenever I draw, so helps me become a better drawer. Something else also. Also, let me know if you Right now I'm filming live streaming through my cell phone. Let me know if you prefer this or me using my new webcam. The benefits of the webcam is that I can have people come onto the live stream with me while I'm drawing. I don't know if that's good or bad. Let me know what you guys think. Would you prefer if I had the ability to let people on? Hey Serena, how you doing? Good seeing you. Would you guys prefer if I had the ability to bring people onto these live streams while I draw, or not? If you I guess the one downside of using the webcam for me is I can't zoom in really, like that. I mean, I can do this with my webcam, zoom in and out as much as I want, but I can't really do that with my webcam as well as I can with my cell phone, which I'm recording on now. So let me know whether you'd rather have webcam where I can zoom in and you can see the artwork better, but not have the ability to bring other people onto the live stream, or would you rather have webcam where I can bring people into the live stream and I can still zoom, but I can't really do it as well as I can with this camera. So let me know. And music. Let's see. Then I'll start drawing.
Finding the kind of music men hum or whistle when they feel on top of the world.
Now, if I can find my pencil, that would be there it is. It was hiding. More about that later. Let's see. Sorry.
Finding the kind of music men hum or whistle when they feel on top of the world. And gentlemen, one of the many things that give you that tip-top feeling is the pleasure of being well-dressed.
Hey, Cross Comics, how you doing? Good seeing you, Rick. Tim Best says this sounds like electro swing. It's probably because it is electro swing. I find it very, I don't know, I find it soothing and also fun. It's very relaxing for me, so, when I draw.
When they feel on top of the world.
So it's either this or Enya. And I can't do Enya because it's copywritten. Cross Comics says, please all check out my comic, The Canadian Shield, issue 1 on Indiegogo. Yeah, do that. Cross Comics, Rick Piper has a new comic book out called The Canadian Shield, and is available right now for sale on Indiegogo. So everybody go check it out. Just go to Indiegogo.com. It should pop right up.
And now we come to the thrilling final episode of our radio drama. Bring up the boys, man. Tell them to meet me at Pine Creek Forks. Lion B. Payroll's been robbed. Pete Belden's been kidnapped. Tell the boys to ride. Clear out there, buddy. Where's the Lion B. Payroll?
Cross Comics says, oops, sorry. Cross Comics says, what is this you're working on? This is Nasser Rabadi's new comic book, the one he's written. Secret Comics Presents. It's an anthology of horror stories. So this is coming out in March, actually Friday the 13th in March on Indiegogo, and I am illustrating it. I'm drawing it. So right now I'm just doing the pencils for page 5, and just working my way through it. So that is what I'm working on right now. Cross Comics says cool. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I was hoping that I can make it look cool. Hey, Marsupio Gamer. Good seeing you. How you doing? Ah, Marsupio Gamer says, you interested in coming on for battle for season 2? Would love to have you. Sure. Just let me know when it is, and if I'm available, I will try to get on. I meant to get on, I guess, the first season, but it always either conflicted or I wasn't aware it was going on. So, um, yeah, let me know when it's scheduled, and I will definitely try to make it because it sounded interesting. Still not exactly sure what it is, but what John Dillard described sounded fun. So let me know. Um, Marsupial says, yeah, we're going to be much more professional and regimented with the schedule and getting ours lined up ahead of time. We'll let you know. Okay, yeah, please do. Please let me know. Hey, there are 9 people here. Oh, that's cool. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel and hit the bell for notifications of future live streams and videos. I'm trying to do these every day, well, except for the weekend. And I skipped yesterday, so I am doing this on the weekend. Yeah, please subscribe and give the video a thumbs up if you like the content and are enjoying watching me scribble on paper to old-fashioned music. Big guy looks like he's enjoying that meal. Yeah, he is. He's kind of a grump, but he's enjoying the meal at least. Lightboxing, I see, says Farmer Dan. Yes, you see correctly. I'm lightboxing. I find it the easiest way for me to do these pages, because if I tried drawing just straight from my head onto the page, it would be way too much erasing. and I would end up destroying this Bristol board in the process, making it unfit for ink, or at least really making it a lot harder for me to ink it cleanly. Um, so I try to work out all my mistakes when I thumbnail it on the computer, and then once it's pretty much the way I want it to be, um, then I just print it out onto print it out onto 8.5 by 11 paper, and then from there blow it up to 11 by 17 paper and use that to lightbox with. So that is a process. That's my process anyway. Everyone's different. This is the way I have found it easiest to manage. Why wouldn't you just ink right now? You already have lines underneath, says Comic Legends. Because I'm not someone, I need very tight pencils for me to ink from. I'm not someone who's able to sort of, just sort of ink cleanly on the fly. I need very sort of strict guidelines to go by when I ink. And even like this really isn't tight enough for me to ink, because I make a lot of changes between this stage and the inking stage. Right now, if you look, I'm very lightly sort of drawing, tracing the page I'm lightboxing. But from here, I'm not even going to ink straight from here. From this stage, I'm going to go in and then tightly pencil it. So I'll have exactly down on paper what I want to ink. If I tried inking at this stage, I'd mess it up. I just, I'm not, I don't know if it's confident enough in my inks or what. But if I tried inking this, I would screw it up, and I know myself well enough to know that I would do that. So I need tight pencils. Like let's see, hold on. Like this is page 1. Like this is sort of where the pencils have to be for me to ink it. I have to designate where all the shadows are going to be, and all the detail. Even like little pieces of dust and glass that are on the ground. I need to have all that stuff down on paper before I can put ink to paper. Like I said, or else I'm gonna screw it up, and I don't want to screw it up, because if I screw it up, I'm gonna have to start over, and then I'm gonna get frustrated really fast. So this is the best way for me not to be frustrated, by working out the basic layout on the computer, so I don't have to erase 500 times, and then once I've traced that onto the drawing board, to tighten this up to the point where I am able to ink it. So that's how I work. Hey, Trusty Psychics here. How you doing? Good seeing you. Comic Legend says, you can do it, man. I believe in you. Yeah, I'm gonna try to do it. And hopefully one day I will get to the point where I can be like Mike Miller, Ethan Van Sciver, and a whole bunch of other really good artists where they can just take a gesture drawing, a stick figure, and from there just jump right into the inks and not even worry about it, not even think twice about it. But I am far from that stage, so I'm gonna have to stick with tight pencils and then go from there. And what happened? My tablet died on me. Drat. Tracy Sake says you and I work a lot alike. Oh, cool. Yeah, it's just the way I am. Like I said, I think it probably, for me, it probably has to do with, I don't know what it has to do with. It might just have to do with not being confident enough in my inks. I know that I know what will mess me up when I ink, and not having a firm enough drawing to ink by will screw me up. So, if I were inking someone else with pencils like this, I'd probably be able to ink it, but I'd be sort of making, I don't know. I'd be changing things because I think to my mind this isn't enough information for me to ink properly. I'd be adding stuff in it as I was inking. So, and if I'm going to add stuff to it, with my own art, I'd rather add that stuff in the penciling stage. So, does that make sense? Probably not. It made sense in my head, but between, the pathway between my brain and my mouth, I think something was lost in translation, probably. Let me see. Get back to... Alright, get there. And... Is it working? My tablet working? Come on, tablet. Work. It's getting there slowly, but it's not... But something's happening. Oh, there! It's back, yay. Okay. Let me get some water. Comic Selection says, makes sense, everyone works differently. Yeah. Water. Sorry, I had to get another water. Oh yeah. Have you guys seen Picard yet? The new Star Trek series? I just watched it yesterday, the first episode, and I thought it was interesting. I've been looking forward to it for months now, ever since they announced it, because I love Star Trek: The Next Generation. I love Star Trek. I'm much more of a Star Trek fan than I am a Star Wars fan. But and my dad and I used to watch Star Trek all the time. Both the original and then the Next Generation and Deep Space Nine and all the other 5 zillion other, spin-offs they've had. But I watched Picard yesterday, and it was interesting. I liked it, but it was... I don't know if it was just the first episode and they're just off to a slow start. There was some action in it. It was a little weird. It was a weird show. Comics Listener says, I think deadlines also change how people work. So if this page was due tomorrow, he would have enough clean lines now to start ink. Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah, this I don't have to have I have time to work on a book and to do it, I guess I'll say properly, or rather the way that I think it should be done. And I would prefer to take the time to do clean finished pencils before I ink it. Victor says, "Wow, you're a million times better than Ethan." I don't think that is true, but I appreciate it. I appreciate your saying that. One day I will be able to. Ethan is. Any of you guys have seen Ethan draw? He's able to I mean, he can draw straight from inks onto paper and do a great illustration. I could try to do that, and it would be very much hit or miss. Um, I mean, what I admire most about his artwork is that he is able to take basically a stick figure, a really really rough gesture drawing, and from that do a completely finished illustration. I can't do that. At least I can't do that consistently. Um, I said I could try to do that. If it worked out, great. But that would definitely be a fluke on my part because most of my drawing, like I said, is erasing. I mean, I spend more than half my time erasing when I draw. So I'm constantly making mistakes, having to correct them. Like Ethan almost seems to be like Bob Ross, where if he makes a mistake, he'll just turn it into a happy accident, and he'll make it work into the illustration, and that that takes that takes a lot of experience to do that, and I don't have that. Farmer Dan says, I watched Star Trek literally every day of the week for years as a kid. Yeah, yeah, me too. I mean, like I said, I loved it, and when Next Generation came out, when I was a teenager, I was just like, oh man, this is cool. And then Next Generation just got better. I mean, first season of Next Generation was kind of kind of kind of goofy. I mean, it was very much in the vein of the original series with the obvious sound stages and sets and stuff. It was really kind of hokey. But after that, I mean, it just blew up and it turned really, really. I don't want to say professional, but I'll say cinematic in terms of its look and its approach to the series. I mean, they took what could have been a kind of a lame series and turned it into just a classic, great sci-fi action series. It was so good. I love that show. Um, let's see. Comic Selection said I've never seen one episode of Star Trek ever in my life. Really? Oh man. Yeah, you have to watch it. I mean, if you don't watch the original series, I mean, watch the Next Generation. I think the Next Generation is probably the best Star Trek they've made, including the original series. The original series was good, but its Next Generation was just like, it was next level. um, Victor says I hate Star Trek. I like that one captain with the beard because has a nice voice and looked cool. Are you talking about Hawk? Yeah, he was cool, man. Cisco, Commander Cisco. He was cool. I know him as Hawk from Spencer for Hire. What was his name? Avery Brooks. The guy is so cool. But yeah, he was great. But I didn't like Deep Space Nine as much as I liked the Next Generation. Um, Marsupial Gamer says Cisco had a beard for a while, and Riker had a beard, but he was a commander, not a captain. Yeah, I mean, I honestly think they should have done a spin-off with Riker. I never understood because Riker was obviously sort of captain material, but it was like he was he was too tied to Picard's apron strings. I mean, he wouldn't let go of Picard's teeth. He was afraid to leave home and strike out on his own. I don't know, just as a viewer, I thought that was a mistake on the writer's part. I don't know if Jonathan Frakes, the guy who played Riker, just didn't want his own show or what, but it didn't make much sense for a guy who obviously could have easily been a captain of his own ship to have him constantly playing second fiddle to Picard. I mean, like I said, maybe that's what the actor wanted. He did, he liked just sort of being second in command on that top show, but it didn't want to risk having its own show, which is fine, I guess. But I think also Jonathan Frakes wanted to direct as well. I think that's what he does now. He's a director mainly. So maybe he had no interest in acting further, and that was why. Who knows? Um, Mike is actually getting even better than he is. Like that's even possible because of Drawn and Quartered. Um, I think I skipped something. Um, but yeah, no, Mike's a great artist. I mean, and I really admire his ability to draw really fast. He's an incredibly fast artist. I mean, he in the time that I've been live streaming, he could have had probably 2 pages drawn and inked. Um, in that time period, he's extremely fast, very accurate, very skilled. Um, yeah, again, it's just practice and experience, and he has put in tons of both over the past couple of decades. So he is it obviously shows. Um, Marsupial Gamer says I've seen every episode of actual Star Trek. I don't count Discovery. That's not Star Trek. That's poop on a stick. Yeah, I saw the first couple of episodes of STD, Star Trek Discovery, and I wasn't that impressed. I wanted to like it, but just didn't capture me. Didn't grab me. So unfortunately, but I'm hoping Picard will be better. Um, but again, I don't know. I'm hoping it will be. Let's see. Okay. Let's check my cell phone. Make sure it's still charging. Um, The I'm sorry, I bit my tongue. The last 2 seasons of Star Trek: The Next Generation were the peak, outstanding episodes. Yeah. I mean, at that point, were they getting into the movies? I can't remember. I think they were. I think they were making the movies during the last 2 seasons of The Next Generation. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. It was the series was just really good. Um, Victor says Ethan was doing cyberpunk before his 20s. He's very talented. Yes, he is. He is. Um, the host of The Outer Limits. I'm not sure what that means. I mean, I know what The Outer Limits is, but Eric Hawkins says you should watch The Captains. It's a documentary with Shatner visiting all the actors that played captains. Avery Brooks is a little kooky. Yeah, I'm sure he is. I mean, I've seen him on panels before, but I haven't really watched many interviews with him. So, Marsupial Gamer says, I think it was just in the script. He had to be #1 forever. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Like I said, I mean, it'd be one thing if, I mean, I guess what I'm saying is that as a character and as an actor, Riker had the charisma and the presence to captain his own ship and to star in his own series. And with as many spin-offs that the Next Generation had, it had a lot. I mean, if you include, yeah, Deep Space Nine, you had Voyager, you had, what was that one? The prequel with what's his face from I can't remember his name. Scott Bakula. He had 3 spin-offs from the Next Generation, and I just never understood why Riker didn't have one as well. Because, like I said, he could have pulled it off. Trusty Sidekick confirms that The Captains is good. Victor says, I guess both of them guys love a good voice. People like Powers Booth. Yeah. David Keith. Bill. I don't know who that is. Scott Bloom. Michael Ironside. Yeah. Michael Wincock. Galaxy Quest is my favorite. Funny. Farmer Dan says, I watched the first episode of Discovery, and that was enough for me to know I could skip it. Trusty Psychic says, Jonathan Frakes has done reading for some Star Trek Next Generation audiobooks. He's done good impersonations of other actors. Oh, cool. One thing I found out was that Jonathan Frakes played Captain America during live action appearances back in the 70s. I thought, and early 80s, I think. I thought that was pretty funny for Marvel Comics. I watched Picard last night. I really liked it. I can't wait to see where it goes, says Eric Hawkins. Okay. Oh, cool. Yeah. Yeah, I am interested in seeing where Picard goes. I just don't. I don't know. I don't know at this point. It could be good. It could be bad. I don't know. Like I said, I liked the first episode. It was interesting to me, but I'm hoping that it doesn't go the way of Star Trek Discovery. I'm hoping that it is very much in line with the feel of the Next Generation, but at the same time, still different. It's still its own thing, you know. I don't want it to be a clone of Next Generation. I want it to be. I want it to be different enough, but still, you know, it's Picard. It has to feel like the same character as the character from Next Generation, just older, to my mind anyway. So that's what I'm hoping for. Eric Hawkins says I might or might not have downloaded from somewhere. I don't want to pay for that. Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, let's just say that I didn't pay to see it. So you know, it's just there are too many streaming services out there. You know, all asking for $10 or more a pop, and I'm just like, no. It's just it's too much. I'm not, you know, especially for shows that I don't even know are worth watching. You know, I'm not going to be paying, you know, $100 for you know 10 different streaming services just for me to sample, you know, one episode of a show. Trusty Sidekick says, well, back to shampooing the carpet later. Okay, Trusty Sidekick, good seeing you. Hey, everybody, please, before you leave, please hit the like button, give this video a thumbs up, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel and hit the bell for notifications of future live streams like this one, where I will continue to draw Nasser Rabadi Secret Comics Presents, which is coming out in March on Friday the 13th on Indiegogo. And I'll probably be saying that 500 times before it actually launches, but I just want to let you guys know. Don't forget. And thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate it. Farmer Dan says, I refuse to pay for CBS All Access. Yeah, you know, some services are worth paying money for. Others are not. I have Amazon Prime, and I have what else do I have? What else do I have? I mean, usually what I do, I usually like Netflix. I get a free. Everyone gets a free month to try out Netflix every year. So, like once a year, I'll usually take advantage of that, and I will subscribe to Netflix for free for a month, and then I will, me and my wife will binge watch everything that we want to watch during that month, and then just you know, let it run out, and then, you know, just wait another year, and then watch another free month of Netflix for that month. I mean, I have no desire to pay for Netflix, you know, every month. It's just half of it is garbage, and the stuff that I want to watch, you know, I can watch during that month, and then, you know, forget about it for another year. So, I mean, I between regular cable TV and Amazon Prime, which I'm paying for anyway, because I, you know, just because I like the free shipping, you know, I get everything that I could possibly want to watch. So, Eric Hawkins says I cut the cord to save money. The internet cost went up, and all these streaming services started up to get their money back from me. Yeah, Yeah, it's I mean, my internet service. I don't have like super fast internet. I think I have like mediocre internet speed that I pay I think $80 a month for, and and then then I have Amazon Prime, and I try to get that as cheaply as possible. Like I think they had it's up. I think it costs like $120 now, and I think on Black Friday there was a deal where I can get it for like $107. So I just got that. So I saved what $13. I'm kind of I'm pretty frugal, so I tend to do that sort of stuff. But yeah, it's expensive, you know. Um, I mean, my cable comes with the place where I live, so at least that's included in the HOA. But yeah, man, just try to save money wherever I can. Comics Legend says, do you sign up with a different email each year to Netflix? No, you don't have to. It's same email. It's just that you sign up for the free month, and then if, after a year, Netflix will again offer you another free month, same email address. You know, so it works out fine. I don't have to sort of sneak around and try to fool them into thinking I'm someone else. They don't care. They see that you signed up for the free month a year previously, and then they're like, oh man, he didn't sign up for the for the main course. So let's give him another free month so he can sample it again. I'm like, okay, sure, I'll take it, but I won't buy it. I'll take your free offer. Um, it's kind of the same with like Crunchyroll. I signed up for their premium plan. So you don't have to watch ads every 5 minutes on Crunchyroll, and then they offer it again to you. If you don't sign up, if you don't keep it, if you cancel it, and you know, they'll try to suck you back in. I just choose not to fall for it, which is good for me and good for my wallet. But yeah, Picard though looks promising to me. Eric Hawkins is trying to figure out some loopholes here. He says, so in theory, you could do with a free monthly trial every month for a year with different emails and continue to do that each year. Interesting. Might be a lot of work. Yeah, it would be a lot of work. You would need 12 separate email addresses, and every month, under a different email address, get a free month of Netflix. You could do that, I imagine. But that's way more work than I'm interested in putting in to watch Netflix. Like I said, everything that I would want to watch, I usually watch during that month. So I mean, if you're interested in everything that Netflix has to offer, every TV show, every movie, then yeah, maybe you can try that. I'm not. Like I said, half the stuff on Netflix I would consider kind of garbage. So I wouldn't be watching anyway, even if I had Netflix and I paid for it every month. So schemes and scams, schemes and scams. Yep, exactly. Victor says my goal is to get good enough and land a spot on Ethan Friday Night Auctions. Whoa, man. Um, yeah, I think. I mean, to get on Friday Night Auctions, whether it's Mike's or Ethan's, I would imagine you would need to be a pro, or have you would need to have been on one of their shows previously. Like if you want to get on Mike's Friday Night Auctions, I think you would I would I think you would need to either have gotten on to Drawn and Quartered with Mike, so he knows who you are and how you draw, or you would need to be a professional artist that Mike knows. And it's the same with Ethan. I would think you would need to be a known artist to either one of them, so that they know how well you can draw. I don't think it's something that you can just sort of. say, hey, put me on Friday night auctions, and you'll get on. I don't think that's how it would work. Eric Hawkins says, "I wish Columbia House had a streaming service. 12 videos for a penny." Yeah, never. Yeah, seriously. I never understood how they ever made money with that scam, with that sort of thing. Back in college, everyone was taking advantage of that scam. They would like sign up as Donald Duck, and then they would end up getting like 12 free cassettes or CDs for a penny, and then they would change their name, same address. It was kind of ridiculous.
Sound is all around us, everywhere. It beats at our eardrums until much of the time we're hardly conscious of it. But on this particular Saturday morning, Jimmy Foster suddenly became very conscious of it.
I mean, remember when Netflix was just? I mean, it was basically like a library through the mail. I mean, they would send you CDs in the mail, and then you had to mail them back in an envelope. I mean, that seems so weird and long ago. I guess it was fairly long ago, but to think that now it's completely streaming as opposed to mailing physical media out to people and hoping they get it back. I mean, it's pretty amazing. Victor says, "I'll just deceive them with a new identity, make some background up." Yeah, that just gets. I don't know. I guess if you're dedicated to trying to steal that stuff, I mean, you could do it. But I would just find that tiring and exhausting after a while. It'd be fun at first, but then it'd just be like, oh gosh, I gotta remember like which fake ID I used for which service. And I'm just like, I don't have time for that. It'd be easier just paying the $10 a month. Less of a hassle. I apologize for all my friends up north because I have to turn on the fan now. It's getting too hot in here. It was so nice down here just a couple days ago because the temperature dropped down to 40 degrees. And it was like awesome. It was the coolest day of the year, and I loved it. And then the very next day it was back up to like 70, the high 70s. And I was like, oh man, that didn't last long. So I enjoyed it while I had it. Starting bid $10,000. That'd be nice for one of the auctions. 90% of what I watch now is on YouTube. I rarely ever watch TV or streaming services. Yeah, that is true. I mean, YouTube has an amazing amount of great television content and movie content. If you know, depending on what you're interested in. Like I love old TV shows. I love old movies, and YouTube has just tons of it. I started watching like the Hopalong Cassidy, um, movies from the 30s and 40s. That's most of that's on YouTube. The old Green Hornet TV show starring Bruce Lee and Van Williams. That's on YouTube. All of them. I mean, it's so much cool stuff. Depending on what you're into. And I mean, That's not even mentioning like the live streams and just general video content like Mike and Doug Snaple and Ethan stuff. I mean, there's an endless supply of content on YouTube that and I watch more YouTube than TV now because there's just so much entertaining stuff that I find on there, and YouTube is almost as bad as Wikipedia, where you start watching one thing you're interested in, and then you get sucked down into like into like a hole of never-ending new content that catches your interest, which is cool. But it's also kind of it's frustrating because like you can't get away from it. It's just like, oh man, there's something new that looks interesting that I want to watch, and you're constantly just getting sucked deeper down into the rabbit hole. Victor says, I'm surprised Netflix doesn't have any of the Predator movies. Huh, that is surprising. They may have at one point. Netflix likes to rotate its content on a regular basis. Um, Maybe just because its servers can only hold so much. I don't know, but um, uh, Fly Fox Pro says, yeah, I've been watching a ton of cartoonist K-Fabe lately. I don't know who K-Fabe is, but yeah, they're probably on YouTube. But yeah, there's a plethora of content on YouTube for whatever you are interested in. I mean, I've started watching videos of people hiking in the winter or camping out in their vans during like blizzards and stuff. It's like stuff I wouldn't think I would be interested in, but I start watching one video and then that just gets me drawn in, and I start watching more videos, and then more videos, and then more videos. So it's a never-ending cycle. But YouTube is pretty cool. I mean, other than being frustrating as heck, if you're a creator, YouTube can be frustrating as heck, because they're constantly changing their standards and their what's allowed and what's not allowed. But if you're just a viewer, YouTube is like a never ending never ending source of fun. Uh, Fly Fox, Fly Fox Pro says it's channeled by cartoonists Ed Piskor and Jim Rugg. Pretty interesting stuff. Um, Victor's at Victor says, "Did you, Jerry, the King lawyer?" Okay, I'm not sure I understand that. Is an amazing artist also, like better than Ethan and Mike. Okay, so Jerry the King lawyer, lawyer. Okay, I'll have to check him out. Um, Eric Hawkins says YouTube is a dark hole. I always get sucked into something. Yeah, it is. Like I said, it's just like Wikipedia. I start looking up one thing in Wikipedia, and then I see a link that catches my eye. I click on it, and 2 hours later, I'm looking at something completely different from what I originally went to Wikipedia to find out about. So it is indeed a dark hole, a deep dark hole. Jerry the King Lawler, okay? He used to do the ringside commentary on WWE with the guy in a cowboy hat. And he's an artist? This wrestling commentator is an artist? Jim Ross is the guy in the cowboy hat. Okay. Okay, well, if he's an artist, I mean, I'll check him out. I'm not really into wrestling. But if you're a wrestler and you can draw, I will definitely check you out. Farmer Dan says, yeah, he started out as an artist and then traded artwork for wrestling lessons back in the day. Oh, really? Oh, that's neat. Yeah, I will definitely check him out. I love. It's weird. It's weird. I always wonder if anyone's gonna find my live streams interesting to watch. But then when I think about it, it's like I love watching artists draw. I'm always interested in finding new artists to watch. Um, I'm not sure why that is. Why I like. I think for me, I like learning. I like to learn from watching other people do things. So I tend to pick up a lot. And if not any, if not a lot, I tend to pick up something watching other people draw, and so I like watching their process. So, um, Eric Hawkins says Jerry Lawler has a '66 Batmobile too. He brought it to a con I was at a couple of years ago. Oh, neat. Victor says, yeah, he's god tier. Probably better than what? Better than Drusen and Paul Shepard and doing likenesses. Okay, I will check him out. Is that good? Wow, I've never heard of him. So I'll check him out. So is it what is his? Does he have a YouTube channel that is his own? It doesn't matter. I mean, I'll just type in his name and search, and then see what pops up. Since you guys are raving about him, he must be good. He must be good. I'm surprised that what's his name never got onto YouTube, or maybe he has, and I just haven't looked. Boris Viejo. You guys remember? I'm sure you do. Boris Viejo, the classic fantasy artist from the 70s and 80s, drew muscle men and women and ladies. But I'm surprised I don't see more of him on YouTube. Maybe I just haven't looked. So. Eric Hawkins says, well, he's good, but he's no Gemini. He ain't no Gemini. Yeah, he's probably a lot better than Gemini, so that would not be hard. One thing I have to do with these pages, I need to really look at the previous pages for reference, because I'm drawing like stuff I drew on page 1. I'm not so sure this is accurate on page 6. Like I'm drawing bags of garbage here, but is this in the same position that it was in the first page? I don't know. I'm just sort of guesstimating. Um, I don't know who Jerry the King Lawler is, and ask if we know. Not okay. It's Boris, not Forrest. Boris Viejo. I don't know who that guy is. Hold on. Nope. There you go. Boris Viejo. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, he's a. I mean, probably right behind Frank Frazetta. He's one of the. He's one of the top fantasy illustrators of the late 20th century. I mean, there are a few of them, but he's up there. Now, this is interesting. What did I do here? Okay. Uh, let's see. Victor says, "Man, this guy is god tier. He's better than Frazetta, but less known." Well, he's not. I wouldn't say he's less known than Frazetta. I mean, maybe a little, but he was really, 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 really popular. Um, back in the 70s and 80s and 90s. I mean, he's pretty well known. Um, and I would say he's better than. He's just different. I mean, Frazetta is much more. What Boris had was his artwork was much more realistic than Frank Frazetta's. Frank Frazetta's though was much more energetic, much more dynamic than Boris Viejo. But Boris's paintings tended to be very stiff because he painted for models. I mean, did Frazetta use models? Not nearly as much as Boris. I mean, Boris was almost like an early version of Alex Ross, where he tried to make things look photorealistic um, with his characters and his paintings. Whereas that wasn't a really big concern for Frazetta. Frazetta wanted to get the the energy, the power of whatever he was depicting. Boris, he's a great artist, but unfortunately, Boris is too often just looked like portraits of bodybuilders, which they were more or less, but it looked like he was painting bodybuilders in poses rather than characters in an actual scene, you know, at least to my eye. Eric Hawkins says if you saw a panel van in the '70s with fantasy art on it, it was more than likely based after Boris Viejo. And that's true. Yeah, I mean he's a great artist. I got his autograph and the autograph of his wife. What was her name? I mean they're still married, but June, was it June? It was I gotta look inside my book. But yeah, really nice people, you know, and it's obvious that because he and his wife both lift weights. I mean, she was a bodybuilder. What was her name? I'm trying to tip my tongue. Um, but they're also both painters. So I mean, back in the '90s, his wife painted a ton of artwork for Marvel and DC. Character like paintings of Rogue and stuff, Storm. I can't remember. It's right on the tip of my tongue. It's killing me here. Julie, thank you, Julie. Thank you, Eric. Yeah, 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 yeah. Both of them did artwork for Fleer back in the '90s. I mean, I mean, they've done tons of work. But yeah, I met Boris and Julie at a convention back in the '90s, and both very nice people. And they were cool enough to sign one of the books I had of Boris's. It's just cool. This cool stuff. Of course, whenever I would do color work, I would always like have his book open next to me to sort of glean like ideas of like how to paint people and stuff, and I just really really cool artist. okay. Oh, okay. So Boris was Frazetta's student. Okay, okay. I didn't know if they had any relationship at all. I just knew that you know Boris came after Frazetta, and that they did similar sort of work, but it was obviously different because the styles were different. Victor says, "Yeah, you're right. His character and backgrounds like they don't fit. I want to be Boris's student, except for drawing live naked male bodybuilder models. Um, you want to draw naked male bodybuilder models, or you don't, because he does both. He does men and women. So you know, either way. But I mean, he would be an awesome teacher, I would think. I mean, you could learn a lot from being from Viejo, and that's another thing. I always wondered why. Well, I guess they're busy just working, um, and I guess everyone's not made to be a teacher. Um, but it would have been so cool if Joe Kubert, if Frank Frazetta or Boris Viejo had opened up their own school, their own art school. That would have been so awesome. And they would have made a lot of money doing that. I mean, can you imagine, taking classes with Frank Frazetta? That would be that would have been very very cool. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go back and work on the details for these. Hmm. Hmm. Interesting. 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 All right. All right. Boris's early work looks very similar to Frank's. As he went on, his style became much more refined. His figures took on a smoother texture. I have one of Boris's photo books with the black and white photos of the models he used for his work. Great lighting and shading reference. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I would love to. I don't know if that's still available, but that'd be something to get definitely. I'm like a big I'm a big fan of Jim. Sorry, James Bama. If you guys don't know who that is, that's the guy who did the classic Doc Savage book covers back in the '60s and '70s. Um, and Boris did a couple of Doc Savage covers, but James Bama did most of them. And James Bama's work was super super photorealistic. I mean, yeah, Boris Viejo, and then James Bama made Boris Viejo's work look like impressionistic. I mean, his stuff was amazing. I put his name in the chat, but look up James Bama and Doc Savage on Google, and look at some of his book covers. His stuff is amazing, but I really like his work. But what's cool is that he used a model for Doc Savage. Stephen Holland was a model for Savage for decades, up until I think up until he died. and he died in the early 2000s, I believe. So he was modeling for Doc Savage into his 70s, maybe 80s, because he had even when in his old age he had a great body, and but he had a great face, and he was a great poser. Um, but he has all these photos from the years that Steve Holland posed for him, and most of them are on the internet. And so I've been over the years I've been like finding them and downloading them to like use as reference, to draw from. Um, Really really cool stuff. So yeah, whenever I see stuff like that, it's like, oh man, I got to check that out. Ken Kelly is another one of my favorites. Says Combo Bob. Oh, cool. Oh, okay. And Combo Bob posted a link to that Boris Viejo photo book. Very cool. Thank you. I appreciate it. Keith Parkinson was great too. He was the guy who did all the Dungeons and Dragons art for the books and novels. Okay, neat. Yeah, I mean, there's so many fantastic artists over the decades. I mean, and I don't know half of them. I don't know. I probably don't know 10% of them because I've never heard of Keith Parkinson, or I may have heard of Ken Kelly. But yeah. So yeah, I mean that's it's cool because I mean there's never going to be an end to the number of people that you can learn from and sort of add to your repertoire of visual teachers. And I'm constantly looking for artists that I can sort of glean from and pick up stuff from. So yeah, I definitely want to check out these guys that Compo Bob mentioned, as well as the Amazon book. I want to look at that. All right, let's see. Uh, Compo Bob says Bama was the guy who did all the Native American stuff, right? Yeah, that was him. That's all he does now, I think. I mean, I got a book of his a while back, a few years ago. But yeah, I think that's all he does now, Native American artwork. Hold on. Where is that? I know I have it. Let's see. James Bama. Oh, here it is. It was hiding. Here it is. But yeah, there's a picture of him in here. I think he's in his 90s. Is he in his, yeah, he's in his 90s now. But here's a sample of like his Doc Savage stuff. You know, it's just like really kind of cool work. Here's a picture of him. I don't think he's in his 90s. I mean, he's obviously, I think, younger here. I hope anyway. Or otherwise, he's extremely well preserved if he's in his 90s. But this is the actor or the model who played Doc Savage, Steve Holland here. But yeah, he does mostly Native American paintings now, and they're just great. I mean, the guy's a phenomenal artist. A lot of Western stuff. I mean, look at that. That looks like a photograph. That's crazy. I mean, so much skill, so much talent. Crazy. Anyway, great artist, James Bama. Hey, look, he painted Mike Pence. Let's see. P. Mike says, "Hey, Cricket, working on the Secret Comics? Yes, I am working on the Secret Comics, and trying to get the penciling sorted out. This is page 6. Page 6? Page 5. What did I write down? What does it say? Page 5. This is page 5. Should probably write it down. Oh, got pencil in my mouth. Sorry about that. Let's see. This is page 5, issue 1, and this is Secret Comics Presents. Oh, my wife's home. I gotta go for a second. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. P. says my family had Chinese food just now. My favorite way to celebrate the Chinese New Year. Oh, cool. Hey, my wife and I might go out for hamburgers later on tonight. So that's our way of celebrating the Chinese New Year. Let's see. Okay. Tablet died again, so. Alright, start up again. Good. Ugh. Let's see here. Turn this on. Now. Let me get this house sorted out. At least a rough outline anyway, then I can break out the rulers. Let's get it looking proper. Proper. Alright. Hopefully this is all showing up on screen. Okay, free of bat meat, I suppose. Bat meat, says Timothy. Timothy Best. What do you mean bat meat? Something going on with bats that I don't know about? Is this that coronavirus thing? Is that what you're saying? That is is that what that's sort of referral to? I don't know. But yeah, I guess it's free of bat meat. Bat meat. $11 people are watching. Cool. If you haven't already, please give this live stream a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you would. If you would be so kind. And hit the bell for notifications of future live streams. I'm going to be trying to live stream every day, except for every weekday. And, as I sort of plow through this this comic book for Nasser Rabadi, who is the writer. Yes, they ate it in a soup. It looked creepy. Who ate it in a soup? Who's they? I imagine bat meat would look like any other sort of meat, doesn't it? I mean, unless they ate it whole and they had like the wings and everything, then that would probably look creepy. If you were eating a soup. the Chinese. It was a cooked bat with head and fur intact, and you're saying that that is the source of the coronavirus? Is that what you're saying? Interesting. I mean, it sounds like that the plot to that movie from about a decade ago with what's her name, Gwyneth Paltrow and Matt Damon, where a bat, I think, bit a pig somewhere in China, and then it started like a plague that like killed half of the United States because the Chinese that pig got slaughtered and then sent to a restaurant, and then the chef ended up shaking hands with Gwyneth Paltrow, and then she caught this weird the the virus, and then she transmitted it to the United States when she flew home. So that's what it sounds like to me. Now what I have to do now is for this top panel, I need to trace all the trees that were hold on, that were on page 3, because this is this oops, hold on. This panel, this top panel here, is mirroring. It's a daylight scene of this panel here. So I have to make sure the house looks the same on both pages, and the trees look the same. So let's see. I'm gonna hold off on doing that for now, but that's what I'm gonna have to do. I mean, all these pages I'm gonna have to go back and just make sure that things are consistent and there's continuity from page to page, because otherwise it's just gonna be one big mess, one big sloppy mess. I know, just as a reader of comic books, it always frustrates me whenever I see something on one page and then another page refers back to that same scene, but things aren't the same. I'm like, wait a second, that that car was green on page 3. Now it's red. Wait a second, that was a 4-door sedan. Now it's a 2-door. What's going on? So I want to avoid that with this book, or else I'll be frustrated with myself. Much less, other people being frustrated with it. So let's see. Work on the borders. That's good. Yeah, I moved it. I moved it. Not sure. Might have to rethink that. Not sure about the border there. Um, let's see here. Oh, whoa. Fly Fox Pro says, I'm watching Edwin's video of him reading through the first pages of Titan. It looks amazing. Yeah, it does. I have not ordered it yet, but I want to. It is on my list of books to purchase. I did not get Packin's Land because it just wasn't my cup of tea. I mean, I really like what Gary Shipman's artwork, and I like him, but I that's not enough to make me buy a book. It has to be something that I find interesting, and I have an interest in superhero type stories. I don't have that much of an interest in sort of fantasy animal stories. Um, yeah, I definitely want to get Titan at some point. I just need to do it. Let's see. What am I doing? All right, here. All right, that's right. Why didn't I? It's weird. Why didn't I extend that? The medal says, "Ahoy there, awful redneck gaming's here. Hey, how you doing? Good seeing you." Fly Fox Pro says, "Yes, our work is beyond belief in that book. He's really putting a lot of effort into it, and the story looks like it's going to be pretty dramatic and compelling." Yeah, that is what makes me interested in buying it. It looks really, really cool, and what I like about it is that it's he really has that sort of what I call Will Eisner look down, and I'm a big fan of Will Eisner, but he has that whole dramatic lighting and film noir thing going with the book, and I really, really like that. So I am eagerly awaiting the book. But first, I have to buy it. I have to buy the book first, and then I can eagerly await it. But yeah, no, it looks really good. I encourage everyone, if you haven't already, check out Titan on Indiegogo. I don't know if let me see if I can put a link to it in the description for you guys who have not yet seen it. It looks very good. It's by Gary Shipman, who is a professional comic book artist and writer. Hold on one second. Okay, there we go. Oh, check out Titan Mouse of Might on Indiegogo by Gary Shipman. It's only hold on, put this down. There's only 8 days left in the campaign, so please hurry up. And if you're gonna check it out and buy a copy of Titan Mouse of Might on Indiegogo. And if you haven't already, please give this live stream a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and hit the bell for notifications of future videos and live streams. I want to thank everyone who has stopped by today to watch me draw these pages for Secret Comics Presents. It's on page 5. I'm getting there slowly but surely. All right, let's see. Panels. All right, that one's done. That one's done. All right. it's fine. I think it's fine. I think it's good. Yeah, it's good. It's fine. What time is it? It's 7 o'clock. What time did I start this? Not sure. Farmer Dan says, I like when you stream early in the morning. I watch it while I'm getting ready for work. Oh, cool. Okay, good. Yeah, I gotta figure out a more regular schedule to live stream. Right now, it's really dependent on my mood and how I feel. Like if I'm not feeling that hot, if I have like a headache or something, I usually don't stream because I run out of energy really fast. If I'm in a grumpy mood, I'm not a very good actor, so that comes across really easily. If I'm like in a really kind of crummy mood, so I'd rather not live stream during that time either. So, or if I'm nervous and I'm kind of scared to go online and live stream, so like today, I meant to start live streaming at like noon, and I didn't start live streaming I think until around 5, or was it 5? I don't know. I can't remember what time it was. Yeah, it was around 5. I've been on for almost 2 hours now, so yeah. So it really just depends. Um, Flyfox Pro says, I was sad I couldn't draw along with Drawn and Quartered this week. I love Star Trek. Yeah, Star Trek is awesome. Watch Picard if you haven't already. Like I said earlier, I saw the first episode yesterday and it was pretty good. I'm hoping it continues on an upward slant and won't sort of nosedive into stupidity and weird, creepy, agenda-driven nonsense. But I need to watch more episodes. First episode was good. It seemed fairly solid, and it had some cool stuff in it in terms of storylines. I didn't know too much about Picard before I started watching it, and I won't give anything away really in this in this live stream. But I heard some things about the nature of some of the characters, and I so when I started watching it, I ended up being surprised when things didn't turn out the way I thought they would. So it was a good show. I enjoyed it. It was a little weird just because it's 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 different from the standard Star Trek sort of outline. They're not in space. Going to a new frontier. So I had to adjust sort of like my mindset in terms of like, okay, this isn't it's Picard, but it's not necessarily standard Star Trek. So yeah, but it looked good. It caught my interest definitely. Um, Fly Fox Pro says I only get in a crummy mood if people don't watch. Yeah, that'll do it for me too. If I'm live streaming and like the only person watching ends up being me on my tablet, then I kind of get grumpy. But but I mean, 12 people are watching now, and that's for me. That's like awesome. I mean, usually I only get like you know between 1 and maybe 5 or 6 people watching. So thank you very much, everyone. I appreciate it. Everyone, please hit the like button. Give this video a thumbs up so I feel better. And and share this out. Share the video out. Let people know that I'm live streaming. I'm probably only going to be on for maybe like another half an hour, but share it out anyway because people if people don't watch it now, I mean they'll come back and maybe watch it later on. So that I really appreciate that. So now I get into the details of now that this is basically sort of roughed in. I'm just gonna go in and start doing detail work so that I can actually ink this to my satisfaction. And hopefully yours as well. And also, I need a sheet of paper because I'm gonna start smearing this pencil lead all over the place, and then I'll be kicking myself. Um, the metal says my favorite Star Trek was DS9. DS9 is really good. I mean, they're all fairly good. DS9 is very good though, and I kind of like the way it evolved over the years. I mean, it sort of started out as a very obvious sort of Holocaust analogy with the Cardassians and the Bajorans, but it evolved into something different over the years, and it was good. I really enjoyed it, and I loved Avery Brooks as Cisco. He was really really good. Farmer Dan says, I really don't want to support the streaming service though. Yeah, well, you don't have to because now we have the internet and you can you can download things without actually subscribing to a streaming service. um, and I don't know if a lot of these streaming services also have um, free what are they called samples or free what are they tryouts like a 7 day. I know Disney Plus has like a 7 day um, trial period, and then oh, what if what you could do is just wait until the season ends for Picard, then subscribe for the 7 day trial period if they have it, and watch all the episodes. Just binge watch all the episodes, and then just stop it. You don't have to pay a penny for it. That's what a lot of people did with the Mandalorian. They waited until the entire season was over, 8 episodes, and then they got the 7 day uh, free trial and just binge watched the whole show, and then just said "see ya" and walked out the door, which is very smart because I mean, the Mandalorian was a great show, but I don't see any reason to get Disney Plus outside of that one show myself. Firefox, sorry, Firefox. Fly Fox Pro says, I sometimes get four to five people watching, but only one or two are chatting. It makes me wonder who likes my art enough to just sit there and watch me work. Well, I mean, when I go to live streams, I spend most of my time lurking. I rarely talk when I mean, unless I'm a mod or something. Um, I'll talk sometimes, but I'm mainly there to watch. I just want to watch and listen. Um, to the artists, who's working. Um, it's just I don't know. I th- we all sort of find it soothing or relaxing or informative. I mean that's why we watch live streams or fun. You know. Um, there's some live streams I watch just for fun, just for the hilarity of them. There are other live streams I watch because I want to learn what's about what the people are talking about. I'm interested in what they have to say. Um, and other people I just watch because I want to see them doing what they do. I want to see them drawing or fixing a car or camping, out in the middle of a snowstorm or whatever. I mean, I'm there to watch whatever. There's this one guy I watch. He all he does is live stream himself playing video games, but I love seeing him play video games for whatever reason. It's just I find it, I get a vicarious thrill out of seeing that. Because I don't really play video games that much, but I enjoy, for whatever reason, I enjoy watching other people play them and win. So everyone's different. We all have different reasons to watch this sort of stuff. Just trying to figure out the shadows here, where I should place them. Hmm. Cisco is awesome in my opinion. Yeah, no, he is. I mean, he's a great captain, commander, whatever you want to call him. He's just very, it's very authoritative, but he's just very, he has that presence. You watch him, it's just like this guy's in charge. You know, and people like that. Whether it's Picard, whether it's Riker, as much as he did it, whether it's Cisco, Janeway, whoever. I mean, people like to see, in fiction, Star Trek, I guess. They seeing a captain who's obviously in command, who's not wishy washy. Um, that's why I wasn't that crazy about what's his name is playing Kirk. Um, what's his name? Chris Pine is Kirk because it never seemed like he should be in charge. He seemed like he was too goofy. He was too flaky. It seemed like Spock should have been in charge. Even though that was the sort of the plot, that Spock was in charge, and then Kirk sort of made him look like he was unstable, so that he could take command. Um, it's just kind of dumb. The medal says if they are like me, Fly Fox Pro, they work better with someone drawing in the background. It's like being at a lunch table again, and everyone's drawing their own thing together. Yeah, no, seriously, yeah, it is kind of. I mean, I enjoy drawing when during other people's drawing live streams because it does remind me a lot of school. I mean, for me, mainly college, where you're feeding off of other artists in drawing class, and you're all sort of it's sort of like a studio atmosphere, except you're not actually there in a studio with them. There's a sort of a symbiotic or sort of a I don't know what term I'm looking for. It's not really symbiotic because there's only one person benefiting from it. Me watching it, the drawing. But there's definitely a sort of a folk camaraderie sense that comes from watching someone drawing and live streaming, and then you drawing at the same time. I sort of you feed off of it, the energy. Um, uh, Flying Fox Pro says the music in the background reminds me of a bit of an artist I used to listen to named Lorange. Lorange. Maybe I've never heard of them. This is who is this? This is Technoaxe. He's on YouTube and he provides copyright-free music of all different genres: heavy metal, um, electro swing, which you're listening to right now, sort of cinematic music, sci-fi music, tons of music. His name is Technoaxe. So if you have a chance, um, YouTube him. Search him on YouTube. Technoaxe. And let's see. There you go. That's his name. Um, uh, Alpha Redneck says, I think Chris Pine did great for the material given to him, but the writers made him some kind of unstable playboy. Yeah, no, they did. He started acting more like Kirk by the third movie, but it was already too far gone. Yeah, it was. Yeah, I really loved Carl Urban as McCoy. I mean, Carl Urban's a fantastic actor. Every time I see him in something new, it's a completely different character. I mean, his McCoy is completely different from his character in The Boys, and that character is completely different from his Judge Dredd. I mean, he's a really underrated actor. I wish he would get more roles because he really deserves them. Um, Firefox Pro says, sorry, Flyfox Pro says these new movies just took the broadest stereotypes of the characters and then just focused on those. Yeah, they did, especially with Scotty. Scotty was just like one big stereotype. Um, Redneck Gaming says Kirk was shown a couple times with sexy women, so boom, Kirk must be a sex-crazed maniac. Well, he kind of was in the original series. I mean, he was pretty much sleeping with everyone. He was getting Indian women pregnant on foreign planets, and then green women. He was a space hoe. So, I mean, it's fair to say. I would hate to see his the plethora or the regimen of medicine that McCoy had to farm out to him to fight the space STDs he would be getting every month. Um, Fly Fox Pro says, yeah. What was with Spock being angry in every film? Yeah, yeah. Spock. Yeah. I mean, what's his name played Spock fine. I think what they did was they sort of emphasized him not being a straight Vulcan. Pardon the pun, since the actor's gay, but not being a pure Vulcan. I mean, the fact that he was half human, they I think they wanted to play that up. The fact that even though he looked Vulcan, he clearly had emotions, and and that he struggled with them. So that's fine. I understand that, and I kind of like that in a sense because it was that's sort of what made him interesting. I think so. Although I did love um, um, Leonard Nimoy as the OG Spock in those movies. I'm really glad that he was in there to sort. He kind of grounded the character. I thought in those movies. Awful Redneck says Carl Urban is a great character actor. Yeah, he is. And Fly Fox Pro says Carl Urban was the only person who I think did a good job of doing justice to the previous actor. Yeah, I mean there were times during the movies in in the new Star Trek movies when Chris Pine would start channeling William Shatner, and I loved it. They were like small, like second small phrases he would use, like he would say like bones, like just like William Shatner would do, and I love that. Or he would like give a command to what's his name, Sulu. I think it was in a third movie or something. I can't remember, but and it sounded just like William Shatner. And I love those scenes because in my mind that immediately told me that this is Kirk. This is the Kirk in his younger years that I saw in the TV series. No, I mean the only thing that threw everything off was just the technology, and it always does that for me. Whenever I watch Star Trek, and that's why I always think that they should never make prequels to Star Trek because whenever they do, the tech in the TV shows or the movies is always going to look that much better than it did from the 1960s, and that always throws me out of the illusion that this is some sort of prequel. So, they did that with Enterprise when they had that Enterprise TV series, which was supposed to be set before the time of Kirk and Spock. The tech was just like this stuff looked like really futuristic compared to what. And the same thing with Discovery. Discovery was supposed to be set before the um, the original series as well, and the tech in that show was off the charts. It was nuts. I was like, this is supposed to be a prequel to the original Star Trek. It doesn't look like it at all. Um, so yeah, they kind of have to be careful with that stuff. Um, Alpha White Redneck says Spock going berserk was funny and horrifying. Yeah, yeah, it was. It was cool. Um, yeah, Carl Urban is always good. Even if a movie is bad, it's always worth watching just to see Carl Urban perform in it. I felt the same way when I think he was in the second Riddick movie, wasn't he? I think it was just called Riddick. Um, but Carl Urban was in that, and he was probably the best thing in that movie. Um, uh, so Yeah, he did feel more like Dredd than Stallone. Yeah, Chronicles of Riddick. Yeah, but he's one. He's probably the best thing in that movie. Fly Fox Pro says at least Enterprise tried to make the tech seem older. Yeah, it tried, but I don't know. I'm probably being too picky. Um, but yeah. Um, let's see. Alfred Redneck says the Riddick movies flew off the rails. The original low budget was the best of them all. Pitch Black. Yeah, Pitch Black. It was. If you have a chance, watch the third one. Third one was very very good. I thought mainly because it was basically a remake of a rough remake of Pitch Black. I mean, they went back to the original formula. Chronicles of Riddick went off the rails in the sense that they tried to change Riddick into a sort of like a nice anti-hero. They tried to clean him up, and that wasn't Riddick. Riddick is someone who he should not be someone who sort of lets people off easy. He's a killer, and he should be depicted as such. They really made him really wrote him out of character in the second movie, and they changed the formula. I think what worked in Pitch Black was the fact that it was Riddick and a bunch of other people. It was basically an alien scenario, you know, where you have a bunch of people. There's a monster out there, and they have to survive the monster, trying to kill them all. And the Chronicles of Riddick went away from that formula, and I think it suffered for it. The third movie, which I think was called just Riddick, went back to that formula, and I thought it was great. I mean, it was I really enjoyed it a lot. Um, it also starred, besides Val Kilmer, not Val Kilmer, Vin Diesel. It starred, what's her name, who plays Starbuck in the new Battlestar Galactica. Can't remember her name, but she starred in it as well, and she was good. Huh. The Metal says my only issue with the third one, just called Riddick, was that it felt more like three episodes of a show slammed together than a single film. Really? Huh. I'll have to watch it again. I mean, I saw it when it came in theater, when it was in the theaters. That's the only time I saw it. But at the time when I watched it, I was really happy that they returned to that sort of monster in the dark formula. I thought that was very very successful formula that should not have been changed. And again, like in the first movie, they showed Riddick as just like a really sort of dangerous guy not to be fooled with. And I mean, I remember this one kill in the movie where he's completely tied up, and these guys are threatening him and stuff, and he just kills this guy like nothing, and even though he's tied up, he doesn't even get off the ground. I think the guy tries to kill him with a machete, and Riddick is on the ground. Riddick, what's he do? He like kicks him in the nuts or something. The kicks the machete out of his hand so that the machete flies up and sticks in the ceiling, and then the machete falls out of the ceiling, and Riddick catches it with his foot, flips it up in the air, and then kicks a machete so it goes spinning and slices the guy's head in half. And I thought it was so cool. And it was just like that's Riddick. He's like, you don't mess with him. Katie Sackhoff, that's her name. Thank you, Metal. Alpha Redneck Gaming says it was no masterpiece, but it was really enjoyable. Yeah, I don't expect a masterpiece from a Riddick movie. I just want something that's fun. I just want an hour and a half or 2 hours of just like fun, excitement, and mayhem. That's all I want from a Riddick movie. I don't want Shakespearean acting. I don't want deep dramatic drama. I don't want deep romance. Just give me Riddick, some monsters, and him killing them. And them trying to kill him and other people. That's all I want. I'll be happy. Let's make it fun. It's like going to a kung fu movie. It's like I don't want to see a lot of talking in kung fu movies, unless it's now you're about to die. I want 95% kicking people in the head, 3% opening and closing credits, and maybe 2% talking. That's all I want. The Metal says it was enjoyable. I've watched it several times for a good reason. Yeah, it was cool. Fly Fox Pro says, yeah, that scene was pretty cool. Yeah, it was. I mean, even now, I haven't seen that movie in years. But that movie, like that scene, stuck out in my mind as like, whoa, that. I probably said whoa, like out loud in the movie theater when I saw that because it was so cool. Yeah, it's true. Metal says the best part, really parts of Chronicles was the prison scenes and the escape. Yeah, it was. That was cool when he. I haven't seen. What happened? He said he's like I could kill you with like this teacup, and then he proceeds to kill the guy with a teacup. It was so funny. It was so cool. Yeah, Riddick versus Predators would be awesome. I wish they would do that. That would be cool. Although, yeah, it would be cool. I was gonna say I wouldn't know who to root for though, because you kind of root for the Predator. At least I do in the Predator movies. I kind of root for him because you know, I want him to win. But I mean, Riddick versus aliens would be better for me because no one roots for the aliens. The aliens are just scum. They're just evil. You know. So you don't root for them. Predators, I'm kind of like torn. It's like I kind of like them. What are you gonna do? Kill me with your soup cup? Tea. It's a teacup. Yeah, right. Death by teacup. Yeah. I seriously, Fly Fox Pro. There needs to be a second Dread movie. The first Dread movie was so fantastic, which is probably the reason why they didn't make a second one. I mean, it's did it not make enough money? I don't understand. I mean, it was really good, especially compared to the Sylvester Stallone movie. It was well done. It deserves a sequel. Huh. All right. Let's see. Rick versus Aliens would be way better than the last Alien movie, says Offer That Gaming. Yeah, it would. That would be cool. I haven't liked these new Alien movies at all. I have not. Ugh. I mean, I saw what I see. I saw what was the one where they go to that planet with um what's his name? And Charlize Theron and the other guy, Luther. I can only remember him by his TV name, Luther. Um, and it's right at my tip of my tongue. The guy he was in the last Fast and Furious movie with The Rock and Jason Statham. Played the bad guy, Black Superman. Idris Elba, thank you. Yeah, I saw that movie. Yeah, Michael Fassbender Alien movie. I it didn't impress me at all. I thought it was stupid actually. It was really bad. People were making the same stupid, obvious decisions that they always make in alien movies. It's just like you see this really creepy snake thing burst into your helmet and snake its way down your throat, like it did. It was so dumb. It was so dumb. Um, so I've had no interest in seeing any more of these. Often read that game. He says Elba's an unreal good actor. Yeah, he is. He's a very good actor. I just think he makes some bad film choices. I mean, he's a really good actor. I mean, if you've ever seen Luther, the TV series he starred in, I mean, really good. He deserves better material. Um, yeah, the metal says Elba was great. Really weird he was picked for Heimdall though, unless it was a joke. I think it was it was a politically correct decision. I mean, like I said, he's a great actor. I mean, but it was such a minor role. Um, and they're freaking Norse gods. It makes no sense to have a black guy playing Heimdall. But whatever. I mean, it's Hollywood. It's not Hollywood decisions. It's not a decision that makes any sense. Um, the metal says I think another thing that made Riddick good was the cathartic connection to Pitch Black with Johns. Yeah, just the right amount of story elements without going overboard. Yeah, no, that's why I liked it. It harkened back to the original Pitch Black that everyone liked. So it was a cool show movie because of that. I didn't know that either. The metal says, I doubt most viewers understand the name Heimdall literally translates to white god. Anyway, I always figured it was an inside joke. That might be why. It was a sort of a you know joke slash jab at you know sort of Viking gods, and oh, we'll make the god that means white god. We'll make him black. We'll hire a black guy to play him, I guess. So whatever. It's just good actor. You know, not such a great decision to place him in that role, but again, he did a good job. It was a minor role, so whatever. I have to say I hate what they've done to Thor in the last couple of movies he's been in. His first what was that one called? The one with Hela, where he's on a I can't remember what was it called. It was Ragnarok. Thor Ragnarok. Thor Ragnarok. I got mad watching it. It was I probably said this before, but it really made me angry watching it because it was they turned the whole thing into a joke. I mean, the death of his father, the death of all of his friends, the destruction of Asgard. I mean, they turned that. The whole thing was treated as like a farce. It was ridiculous. You know, the characters cracking jokes after Asgard explodes, and it just felt really really out of place with the other movies. And of course, they're going to continue with the same sort of style, you know, humorous style, because it made a lot of money. But I'm not watching it. What's the new one called? Love and Thunder. Stupid one with female Thor in it. Jane Foster. Ugh. Bleh. No, thank you. I will save my money. Um, the Metal says, and then splicing Planet Hulk into it as well. Now that was a very disjointed movie. You know what? I didn't mind the fact that they they used it to tell the Planet Hulk story in a sense. That could have worked. It's just that they try to make it into a goofy comedy, and it made no sense. I mean, between the Planet Hulk storyline and the Ragnarok storyline, it's not those aren't humorous storylines. Those are like really kind of tragic storylines, and trying to make them into jokey movies with drunken pratfalls and Thor throwing Loki as some sort of gag. It was just dumb. It made no sense to me. The Tess Thompson as Valkyrie was to my for me an insult. I mean, making her like a drunken loser, who spent all of her, it's just idiotic. Plus the fact she looked nothing like Valkyrie. She didn't. I mean, even though she's ignore the fact that she's black, which alone, to my mind, disqualifies her. She didn't even. They didn't even try to make her look like her. They could have given her like giant, like big black braids and the classic, Valkyrie armor. That would have been awesome if they'd done that. But they didn't even do that. They didn't even try to make her look like the character. It's like, so why even call her Valkyrie? Call her Jane. No, not Jane. But they already have a Jane. Call her Mary or Laura. Call her something. Don't call her Valkyrie. Don't create a character and call him Hulk if he's skinny and you know blue. That's not the Hulk. you know. So they have to. That sort of stuff really annoys me. It makes me not want to see future movies. You're not going to be faithful to the source material, or even try to be. And in fact, if you're actively doing things that show that you don't care about the source material, then you're not going to get my support and money. Um, let's see. Awful Redneck says Jane Foster was done with Thor 2, but they backed up a truck of you're talking about the actress. I forgot her name. Yeah, they backed up a truck of money and begged her. Yeah, which is always the wrong reason to be in a movie, because she doesn't care anything about the character or the film. She only cares about money. So I don't. Again, that's not a reason for me to be interested in watching her. If she had no interest in the franchise to this point, then I'm not gonna. Why should I have in it? Why should I have an interest in watching someone who had no interest in being in the movie in the first place? That is part of my attitude. If she doesn't want to be in a movie, I don't want her in a movie. So, uh, Fly Fox Pro says, Guardian. Thank you, Natalie Portman. Oh my gosh, everyone, if you have a chance, don't grow older than the age of 25, because after 25, your memory like drops like a rock. I mean, these are people I should know like the back of my hand. The biggest. Let's see, I missed one. Fly Fox Pro says Guardians of the Galaxy kind of ruined Marvel. They decided to double down on the comedy. Yeah, I mean, I can understand. I mean, Guardians of the Galaxy was a great movie, and what made it great partly was the fact that it was a comedy. I mean, it was a surprise. It was a pleasant surprise, and it worked. But just because it works in one movie doesn't mean it should work in every movie. I mean, I also hated the comedy stuff in Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange is not a comedic character. He shouldn't be. I mean, it's fine to have some comedy, some humor in these movies, but they shouldn't. I don't want to see Doctor Strange again doing pratfalls with his cape. His cape is trying to like hug him and kiss him. It's what the, I don't want to see that. It's stupid. That demeans the character and insults me as a viewer. Um, and yeah, it's just I wish these I wish that Marvel were more interested in being faithful to their IPs than they are in trying to get as much money as possible out of these movies. But it's a business. They're owned by Disney, and Disney is only interested in making money. They're not interested in the characters. I mean, they'll like obviously they'll change any character 180 degrees from the way they're supposed to be, just in a just in order to try to make more money or to pander to to an agenda, as Fly Fox Pro is mentioning. He says the constant pandering is getting super old. Yeah, it is, and that's the big reason why I'm no I pretty much refuse to watch any more Marvel movies because in the movies coming up, it's just going to be Pander City, and I have no interest in watching that. I do want to see Black Widow though. Black Widow looks very good. Having said that, but after that, I'm probably not going to watch anymore. And definitely not the Eternals. The Eternals looks like complete hot garbage. And I love the Eternals. That's one of my favorite comic books as a kid back in the '70s. I love that comic book. The Jack Kirby comic, but they completely ruined it from what I've seen. Let's see. Fly Fox Pro says the good thing about comics is you can tell different types of stories, but Marvel's decided that each one has to be the same. At least my opinion. Yeah, no, you're right. No, they see something that's successful, and they don't think they immediately think that, oh, this is the new formula we have to follow. So everybody do this, even if it's completely inappropriate to the characters that they want to apply it to. It's a it's a formula that's just sort of born from a lack of imagination. They're unable to imagine anything other than the new the new hot thing being successful. I mean, they forget it's like they completely forget the success of something like The Winter Soldier that was fantastic without any comedy in it. And they instead they think it's like, oh, everything has to be like Guardians of the Galaxy now because the Guardians of the Galaxy was funny and that did well. So let's make everything funny now. It's like no, that's not the lesson you should be learning. But they don't understand. All I understand is green, the color of money, and they're very short-sighted and have a very short-term memory. Um. Off Redneck Gaming says Age of Ultron was the last Marvel movie that I watched. Really? Did you see? Was that before or after? that was before Winter Soldier. No, was it? No, it was after Winter Soldier. If you haven't seen Winter Soldier, definitely watch that, and also definitely watch Civil War, which came after Age of Ultron. If you haven't already, off of Redneck Gaming, that's a very good movie too. Mainly because it has Black Panther in it, and again it continues the whole Bucky storyline. You need to watch if you're gonna watch any of them, watch Civil War. I mean, it's not as good as the Winter Soldier, but it's kind of close. It's pretty good. The Metal says Black Widow looks more like a Phase 2 film than anything, which is probably why when they should have done the film. That is true, but that's also why I want to see it, because it looks good. I love the Phase 2 Marvel movies. Again, particularly the Winter Soldier. I mean, that's easily my favorite Marvel movie. I wish all more Marvel movies were treated with the same sort of seriousness as that one, but they're not. So, what time is it? It's 7:43. I got it. I think I better get going because I'm supposed to take my wife to dinner, and it is getting late, and I don't want to make it wait that long. But let me finish a little. I'm drawing underarm hair here. Isn't that exciting? Armpit hair. Hey. But yeah, this is the sort of like detail stuff that I'd rather like do in pencil first, and not leave for not try to do just in the ink stage, because I'm constantly finding things that I want to correct and everything. Um, Fly Fox Pro says Winter Soldier is my favorite of the Marvel movies. Yeah, I thought it was great. Um, Fly Fox Pro says, so off topic. I'm drawing the third page of my comic. I'm trying to figure out an emblem for some armor. Is the Iron Cross inherently going to be associated with the old Germans? I don't know. It depends. I mean, I would just Google it, and I don't think it necessarily is. I mean, any more than the swastika is inherently associated with Nazis. I mean, it is in a sense, but the swastika's been around for millennia. It's been around for over 1,000 years, and it was only during World War II, in that small period of what 8 years, 7 or 8 years, that the Nazis used it, that it became quote unquote bad. So I mean, but people still use it in fiction. They just don't. It's just not applied to Nazism. It's applied to its original intent. So I think that's what you have to worry about more than anything else. I mean, what's the is the intent of why you're using it clear to the audience? As long as it's clear that it's not supposed to be for sort of war fascist Germany. Was it World War One, or was it? I think it was used in World War One, wasn't it? The Iron Cross. Was it also used in World War Two? I can't remember. I should probably know that. But yeah, I think that should be your main concern. I mean, the fact that it was used by the Germans at some point, don't let that stop you from using it, because otherwise, the the Nazis created the Volkswagen Bug. So does that mean we can't use Volkswagens anymore? It's you know it's all about intent. So I would use it if I were you. Um, Alpha Redneck Gaming says the Iron Cross is still given out in Germany, I believe. Fly Fox Pro says yeah, it was around before World War One even. Yeah, I mean most of these symbols have been around before they were used in wartime as sort of like propaganda symbols. So okay, I'm gonna stop here for now. I might come back and do another live stream where I continue with this page. Um, but yeah, for now I'm gonna I'm gonna call it quits for now. So so this is it. This is maybe I should get closer. This is page 5 of I think it's gonna be 20 pages for the book. So got a good start on it. As you can tell, I am not a speed artist, so you know, this is sort of the pace at which I usually draw when I want to, you know, make something look halfway decent. Um, so yeah, when I do stuff like drawing and quartered, that's really pushing me. I'm like, my gosh, but it's good practice for me because it forces me to sort of get faster with my artwork, which is good, especially if you're doing comic book work or any um, sort of freelance work. Being fast and being accurate is an important trait to have, and I need to improve that definitely. So, yeah. But let's see, everyone. Thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate it. Again, this drawing that I did on Drawn and Quartered Fan Edition on this past Thursday is for sale. So if anyone wants it, $55. Just message me on Twitter or Facebook or whatever. Now, all my contact info is in the About section of my YouTube channel. So if you haven't already, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and give this live stream a thumbs up if you would. I'd appreciate it. Yes, Tifa. About to kick you in the head. Smack. Hey, FlyFox Pro, thanks for showing up. Thanks for being here, everyone. I really, really appreciate it. Give the live stream a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell for notifications. And I will see you sometime soon. If not tonight, then it will be on Monday when I continue drawing. But I'm going to try to do something later on tonight. And maybe try to finish this. Hey, John Diller's here. I didn't even see his thing. Says, yes, it's associated with Germans, you Nazi. Yes, John Dillard. So, it would be a good way to die, getting kicked in the head. Yeah, I guess this girl's cute enough. Last thing you see is her smiling face down at you. But anyway, you guys take care again. And yeah, I will talk to you guys later. All right? Have a great night. Bye.